The male lead had a face that looked 30% like mine. To prove he was no worse than me, he deliberately got close to my childhood sweetheart, who was also my sworn enemy. He planned to marry her before I could, but before he could make a move, I had already sent my childhood sweetheart and sworn enemy straight to him overnight. Because on the day the male lead arrived in this world, I watched the entire thing from behind a tree. I also discovered, by accident, that I could hear his conversations with the system to find out whether his purpose here was good or evil. I played along with his woman-stealing plot for 10 years. Now I was sick of it, and I knew why he had come to this world. He only wanted to win over my fiancée. But just as I was packing to leave the country, to avoid the male and female leads melodrama, I was delighted to see, at their wedding, the male lead and the system reluctantly saying goodbye. Congratulations, host. You and Qingxue are now married. A perfect ending. I must leave as well. Huai gave the system a slight nod. All right. Thank you, system, for giving me a chance at a new life. I hid in a corner, listening to them talk, and could not help laughing to myself. The system was actually leaving, without it here controlling the plot. Who knew what would happen after the ending? So I took out my phone and canceled the flight abroad I had just booked. Then, with ill intent, I looked at the couple about to marry. Huai and Qingxue's wedding was spectacular. There were over 100 cameras, and major online influencers streamed it live. The moment the broadcast began, comments raced across the screen. Does anyone else get it? We finally get to see President Shen and Huai get their happy ending. That guy must be furious. President Shen and Huai did not have an easy road. My Huai finally found true love. If not for that vicious guy, President Shen would have married my idol ages ago. But it was also because of that guy that my idol realized his true feelings. The comments were either blessing the newlyweds or cursing me. After reading a few, I lost interest. In the past, I would have fought back in the comments. But after 10 years, I was already immune to their malice. I stayed hidden in the corner, watching my surroundings. I hoped today's wedding would go off without a hitch. Amid the lively atmosphere, the officiant finally stepped up. As the words, "The ceremony begins," rang out, I was more nervous than the couple themselves. Huai's suit accentuated his tall, straight frame. On stage, he gazed lovingly at Qingxue as she walked toward him. Huai was a celebrated, award-winning actor. The entire internet adored this national heartthrob. Qingxue generously reserved 100 spots for Huai's female fans to watch the wedding in person. The people standing beside me must have been those fans. One girl pointed at the stage and screamed, "Look! They are exchanging rings." My attention snapped back to the stage. Qingxue had already placed the wedding ring on Huai's finger. Now, it was Huai's turn. Watching Huai move in slow motion, I stopped breathing. But 1 second before he placed the ring on Qingxue, he suddenly froze. Huai stared directly in my direction. I knew it. He had spotted me. I never expected him to leave me alone on such an important day. Sure enough, Huai picked up the microphone the next second. "Thank you all for attending Qingxue's and my wedding. But I also want to give special thanks to someone. You all know this person too." Everyone followed Huai's gaze toward me. For a moment, none of them recognized me. Huai continued, "You all know, Qingxue and I have not had an easy road to today. We have endured many setbacks. Those who know us well are aware of this." I looked up and met Huai's malicious eyes. Yes, I had caused all their setbacks. Looking at me, Huai said, "Jingchen, I know you cannot accept this, but I still have to say, true love is not about who came first. Though you were by Qingxue's side for a long time, she only sees you as family, never as a lover. I hope you find someone who will treat you well. And thank you, Qingxue, for always standing by me." As he spoke my name, I felt countless hostile eyes turn toward me. A few people even came over and formed a circle around me, as if afraid I would cause trouble. And this was exactly what Huai wanted. After dragging me out and publicly tearing me apart, Huai finally picked up the ring again and placed it on Qingxue's finger. At that sight, the weight in my chest finally lifted. One of Huai's young female fans pointed at me, then snarled a warning. "President Shen and my idol are married now. If you vicious man, dare sabotage their relationship again, I will never let you get away with it." I gave an awkward smile and nodded. "Do not worry. I will definitely pray they stay chained together forever." Suddenly, a chime rang out. A blue robot suddenly floated before Huai. "Congratulations, host. You and Qingxue are now married." "Host, your mission is complete. I must leave as well." Huai nodded. "All right. Thank you, system, for giving me a new life." I was the only one who could hear those words. 10 years ago, when the system first appeared, I could already hear it. Huai was its host. From it, I learned I was the vicious male supporting character. I tried to change my own plotline, but it was useless. Since that was the case, I would properly play my role as the villainous male supporting character, complete the plot, and wait for it to leave. Now that damned system had finally left. From now on, I would be the real villainous male supporting character. Before leaving the wedding, I met Gu Huai's eyes on stage. I gave him a small smile. Your good days are finally over. The first thing I did when I returned home was throw away my old belongings, then call a moving company, and finally send a message to my pinned contact on WeChat. By the time I finished, it was well past midnight. For the past 10 years, I had diligently played the vicious supporting character. If the male and female leads needed me to strengthen their romance, what was wrong with being their tool? But now the story was over, without the plot controlling us. Who knew what would happen after the ending? Everything I had given away as their tool, I would take back piece by piece. First on the list was Shen Qingxue's current position. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. The buzz surrounding Shen Qingxue and Gu Huai's marriage remained sky high. Online, people were still discussing that wedding of the century. Gu Huai also used the wedding to break into international markets, bringing himself to a wider audience. On the day the newlyweds returned to visit her family, I went back with them. Before I entered, I could hear laughter inside. I could imagine the warm, happy scene without even going in, but I had come specifically to ruin the mood. When he saw me, Gu Huai was the first to react. Jingchen, you are back. We were just talking about you. Now that you are here, you can join us for dinner. I nodded, seeing the others look as if they had eaten shit. I felt absolutely delighted. Even the air tasted sweet. My father shot me a cold glance. Since you are back, get along with your older brother. Do not stir up any more trouble. They are legally married now. If you interfere with their relationship, you will be the homewrecker. I looked seriously at this biological father of mine. It was hard to believe a parent could say that to his child, but I had heard worse from his mouth. Now that I no longer cared, my heart no longer hurt, so I nodded. Of course, I would never knowingly go after someone with a family and stoop so low. My words seemed to hit a nerve with Fuqiang. His face visibly darkened. Just then, Annie announced that dinner was ready, easing the awkward atmosphere. But the moment I sat down, Gu Huai spoke again. Mom is used to sitting here, since Jingchen likes it. Mom, why don't you choose another seat? I glanced at Gu Huai with a faint, mocking smile. Gu Huai answered with a gentle smile. Only I knew how ugly that smile truly was. Siyan, my stepmother, smiled indifferently at his words. If Jingchen likes it, let him have it. Shen Qingxue looked at me with clear disapproval. Xiao Jingchen, you still refuse to repent. I slammed my palm onto the table. This is my home. Who told you? I have to watch outsiders' reactions while eating in my own house? Eat if you want. If not, get out. The slam startled everyone in the dining room. No one seemed to expect me to fight back, especially not against Shen Qingxue. After all, everyone knew Shen Qingxue was the woman I loved but could never have. I used to be rebellious, but I listened only to Shen Qingxue, and she used that to show off. So what if he was the heir to a wealthy family? He still did whatever I said. So everyone subconsciously assumed I would never resist or refuse. But they seemed to have forgotten that I once had sharp edges. Even after spending 10 years as a lovesick doormat, those edges had not disappeared. I had merely hidden them. Now that the system was gone, I was finally free. Naturally, I would do whatever made me comfortable. I would never swallow my pride again. Fuqiang was the first to recover. His next blow against the table was even louder. Xiao Jingchen, you have gone too far. Believe me, I will throw you out. In the past, hearing those words would have brought tears to my eyes as I apologized. After all, the first trait of a vicious male supporting character was a desperate need for love. A desperate need for his father's love. That was why the threat of being thrown out terrified him. When the plot controlled my life, Fuqiang manipulated me this way again and again. But there was no plot anymore. I let out a cold laugh. Dad, you seem to have forgotten something. The name on this villa's deed is Xiao Jingchen. My words struck Fuqiang like a blow to the head. Seeing that things were going badly, Siyan immediately cut in. Jingchen, stop joking around. The deed is locked inside the safe. Your father cannot take jokes like that. Fuqiang seemed to regain his senses as well. His hand slapped the dining table with a series of sharp cracks. He cursed me as an ungrateful son. I sighed inwardly. Fine. Apparently, no one believed my friendly warning, so I stopped wasting time on them. NGÓN, serve the food. NGÓN called back. The eldest young master will have it out in a moment. Fuqiang frowned slightly at the title. Why are you calling him the eldest young master? Call him the third young master. NGÓN did not hear him. She had already gone to the kitchen. Her cooking was as delicious as ever. Gu Huai's face had gone pale. That title had clearly struck a nerve. After taking a bite, I looked at my father. Dad, are you planning to add Gu Huai to the family register? Gu Huai was the biological son of Fuqiang and Siyan, and was 3 months older than me. If that is really your plan, then I should warn you. The Xiao family belongs to Xiao Han, not Fuqiang. Xiao Han was my mother, a gentlewoman. Sadly, she was blinded by love and fell for Fuqiang, a penniless social climber who married into wealth. Naturally, it ended in tragedy. Since no one believed the villa belonged to me, I was more than happy to give them a grand surprise. With that thought, I clapped my hands. Several black-clad bodyguards rushed in from outside the villa. They swiftly surrounded Huai and the others. Before they could react, the bodyguards had dragged them out of the villa. Outside, Fuqiang unleashed a torrent of abuse. I ignored him completely. Then I called for the butler and told him to hire cleaners to scrub the place from top to bottom, remove every flower in the garden, turn it into a vegetable patch. Jingchen could not have been the registered owner before turning 18, but Chen after turning 18 could. While Huai and his crowd enjoyed their lavish lifestyle, I was rebuilding my strength. When the time was right, I would strike back. When my phone rang again, I simply turned it off, though I was tempted to kick them while they were down. Villains die from talking too much. For now, bringing down the male and female leads was what mattered most. The next day, Fuqiang came looking for me in fury, with Siyan in tow. After being President Xiao for so long, he had not earned that title for nothing. The moment we met, he tried to slap me. I stopped him, then slapped Siyan across the face instead. I had wanted to hit that vicious woman for a long time. She was the final straw that broke my mother. Knowing my mother was bedridden, she brazenly brought Huai into our home, then installed herself as mistress of the house. Then she threw the paternity test in my mother's face. My mother had not even exhaled her final breath before rage killed her. And then she even said, I had no idea my sister was so seriously ill. 3 months after my mother's death, Siyan was brought into the Xiao family home. That was the first time I met Huai, and the first time I heard the system's voice, refusing to accept it. I publicized my father's affair with Siyan. At first, I endured a period of online abuse, but eventually, Huai went live and tearfully talked about Siyan's relationship with my father, claiming they had been childhood sweethearts. He said a rich heiress had taken a fancy to Fuqiang and had forced him to submit because of her status, tearing the couple apart for more than a decade. Even after my mother died, she was left carrying the blame, while earning her enemy a good reputation. That was when Huai first entered the public eye, rising from the public's beloved son to a national idol. Siyan was stunned by the slap. Before Fuqiang could strike again, I quickly slapped Siyan twice across the face. Only then did I turn to my father with an innocent look of confusion. Dad, what are you doing? Fuqiang finally snapped back to reality. His eyes blazed with fury. You ungrateful son. She is your elder. With a sharp smack, I swiftly slapped Siyan across the face again. Dad, what did you say? I could not hear you. Fuqiang pointed at me with a trembling finger. He was clearly furious. He wanted to attack, but hesitated at the sight of the baseball bat in my hand. I had found it moments earlier as a weapon. Tell me, what exactly is going on with that house? How did your name end up on the deed? I was in a good mood, so I explained everything. The villa was originally registered in my mother's name. After her death, she left all her assets to me. I would inherit them once I became an adult. Fuqiang had coveted those assets for years. Before I came of age, he demanded that I transfer them into his name. He claimed he was only keeping them safe for me, so I arranged everything with a lawyer. Fortunately, though my mother had been blinded by love, she had not left her child without a way out. The name on the deed was simply Chen. That was how I exploited the system's loophole. Once the system left, I changed the name, and everything became mine again. After hearing my explanation, Fuqiang and Siyan looked dazed. Seeing their grief-stricken faces, I was in an excellent mood. I could not resist saying a little more. Dad, you cannot even be a competent social climber. How dare you bring your mistress into this home? Their faces darkened instantly. Satisfied, I did not waste another moment on them. I shut the door and went back to sleep. At 2:30 that afternoon, I contacted more than a dozen major bloggers and anonymously sent them Huai's dirt. The internet truly is a double-edged sword. Huai had once used it to smear me. Now, that blade would turn on him. But before his scandals could go viral, I was trending again. The villainous male supporting character is at it again. Seeing that headline, I wanted to applaud whoever wrote it. It suited my image perfectly. The post accused me of disrespecting my elders. I had not only hit my stepmother, but thrown my own father out of the house. Huai was the nation's beloved idol. By association, Siyan had become the nation's favorite stepmother. Huai and Siyan also appeared on variety shows together. Their mother-son bond was the envy of the internet. People praised them for having no blood relation, yet being closer than many biological mothers and sons. So Siyan was now something of a public figure. This should never have gone online in the first place. But today, the timing was simply too perfect. When Siyan called Huai to cry to him, he happened to be live streaming. So the story just happened to get exposed, exactly as I wanted. I only feared it would not blow up. At 2:30 that night, several trending topics buried my scandal and climbed to the top, exposing Huai's scandals. The nation's idol is actually like this. Nation's idol caught bullying others. The nation's idol's darkest secrets. Huai accuses others of what he did. Huai alone occupied 5 trending spots. They had all been posted overnight. Most people were already asleep then. By the time they noticed, people had already shared it and saved copies. It was too late to take the trends down. So, when Huai saw those trends the next day, he was completely stunned. He knew all the evidence of his scandals was under his control. He had dealt with everyone involved. He could not understand how it had been exposed. I laughed heartily at the screen. Of course, I had collected every detail of your past. All for this day. The trends were soon taken down. Page trolls flooded in to clear his name. I knew this alone was not enough. But with these revelations, seeds of doubt would take root in some people's minds. They claimed to believe in their idol. But Huai visibly lost 3 million followers overnight. Though that was only a fraction, it was enough. Huai and Qingxue were tied together now, so her company was affected as well. Its stock plummeted overnight. Qingxue was thrown into chaos. She had been furious, but Huai gradually soothed her anger. Too many people were watching them now, and plenty wanted to see them fail. After the plot ended, I could feel the force weighing on me disappear. Everything I did went incredibly smoothly. Without the protagonist's halo, a protagonist was merely an ordinary person. The day Huai's production wrapped, I deliberately showed up at the restaurant where they were celebrating. When he saw me, he looked surprised. Jingchen, what are you doing here? I sneered inwardly. I stared straight at him with open provocation. Then I walked away without looking back. I knew he would follow me. Sure enough, as I rounded the corner, Huai called after me. Xiao Jingchen, you were behind what happened online, were you not? His undisguised malice hit me full force. I did not deny it. Huai snorted disdainfully. It is useless. Do not waste your strength. You cannot defeat me. That was true 10 years ago. And it is still true 10 years later. Besides, you have nothing now. What could you possibly use against me? Huai was a master at being two-faced. In private, this was his true face. I looked at him coldly. Your fans should see what you are really like. Disgusting. How do you know I have nothing? Because of that system of yours. The moment I said that, I saw shock flash through Huai's eyes. Before he could speak, I continued. Why would you think some unknown creature could take me down? Just because you are the male lead. A male lead who needs others to humiliate his enemies for him is no real male lead. Enjoy your last good days. Do not be so naive. Huai seemed frightened by me. For the next few days, he stayed out of my sight. He also stopped posting about his daily life with Qingxue. While he took time to recover, I went to Qingxue's company. Before I could enter the elevator, Qingxue, who had just stepped out, stopped me. Someone must have tipped her off. After all, I was practically an internet fixture. The villainous male supporting character everyone cursed every day. Back when I was fawning over Qingxue, I often came here to get her attention. At the sight of me, Qingxue looked deeply displeased. Xiao Jingchen, why are you here? I am married. Show some respect. I gave a soft laugh. President Shen, do not be like that. We are going to be very good colleagues. As the company's largest shareholder, it is perfectly reasonable for me to work here, is it not? That very day, I joined the company as Xiao Chen, stunning everyone. I sat in Qingxue's former office and took a deep, satisfied breath. Then I summoned an assistant and had all her things replaced. Qingxue swallowed her fury. Xiao Jingchen, do not go too far. I turned and threw the porcelain cup from her desk away. It shattered across the floor. President Shen, no. Vice President Shen, I look forward to working with you. And my name is Xiao Chen now. Qingxue gritted her teeth, but there was nothing she could do to me. In the end, she could only storm out. In high spirits, I ordered afternoon tea for the staff. Then I gave everyone 2 days off. Finally, I called a shareholders meeting. On the day of the meeting, Qingxue looked refreshed. Her former dejection was gone. Fuqiang appeared with her, along with Siyan and Huai. I sat at the head of the table. When I saw them, I first called security and told them to escort all unauthorized people from the office. Huai broke free from the guards and angrily demanded, Xiao Jingchen, why are you throwing us out? Dad agreed to this too. I remained perfectly calm. Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry can attend a shareholders meeting. Actor Gu, this is not a film set. The fact that I did not have security throw you out is already more courtesy than you deserve. The shareholders meeting began, just as I expected. No one had faith in me. They all said Qingxue was best suited for the position, and that I should return it to her. My gaze swept over those shouting the loudest. Mr. Xiao, the right people should be in the right positions. I do not think you belong here. Qingxue chose that moment to play the good person. Jingchen, if you wanted a job, you only had to tell me. I could have arranged one for you tomorrow. I do not mind what you are doing, but you are holding up everyone in the company. Not everyone is as privileged as you. I nodded in agreement. We cannot let these people keep the company's employees from earning a living. So, Qingxue, you have even less reason to stay at this company. After speaking, I turned to another person who had been opposing me from the start. President Huang, about what you just said, I have something to tell you as well. If something does not belong to you, do not even think about coveting it, even if you are the person best suited for it. What is not yours will never be yours. And one more thing, I want everyone here to understand this. The Xiao and Xiao Corporation comes from Xiao, not Xiao Fuqiang, and it certainly does not belong to the Shen family. Shen Qingxue was someone my mother generously chose to sponsor on a whim. What right does a stranger have to covet the owner's possessions? Shen Qingxue was merely one of the pitiful strays my mother happened to help. I will not deny her abilities. Someone who bites the hand that fed her has no place in Xiao Corporation. If the system had not appeared 10 years ago, I would never even have noticed Shen Qingxue. When dealing with an uncontrollable factor, keeping it right under your nose is the safest option. People said I had fawned over her for 10 years. It would be more accurate to say I had monitored her for 10 years. After the shareholders' meeting ended, I heard Shen Qingxue had a huge argument with Huai after they went home. Huai blamed Shen Qingxue for being incompetent and for failing to notice such a massive loophole that had left him completely caught off guard. Shen Qingxue blamed Huai for failing to deal with even a fool like me, and for failing to win over Xiao Fuqiang after all these years in the Xiao family. As I listened to my assistant's report, I let out a cold laugh. What good would winning over Xiao Fuqiang do? Was it because of his insignificant number of shares? Besides, he was an incredibly selfish man. Why would he willingly give away what he had? A new boss always makes a few bold moves. My first move was aimed directly at Shen Qingxue. I tightened the pressure on her at every turn. Now, she was nothing more than Vice President Shen in name. They had been married for less than 3 months, yet they were already arguing every other day. After lying low for a while, Huai began flaunting his daily life with Shen Qingxue online again. Counting the days, I realized that Xiao Yu was coming back. Xiao Yu was my biological sister. Because of that, Huai called specifically to inform me. Jingchen, little Yu is coming back. You need to speak nicely to her. Do not treat her the way you did before. I chuckled and told him not to worry. I assured him I would put in a good word for him in front of Xiao Yu and let her know how much her older brother cared about her. Then I hung up without changing my expression. Lying on the sofa, I fell into a memory. Back then, because the plot controlled me, the only thing I did after breaking free of its control was send Xiao Yu abroad despite everyone's objections. The plot only extended throughout the country. The system had no control overseas. As long as I sent her away, Xiao Yu would effectively disappear from the plot. It was a breakthrough, but it also shattered the bond between us. That gave Huai a chance to exploit the rift. He acted as though he cared about her more than I did her own brother, and the price of escaping the plot was something I experienced firsthand. My body no longer belonged to me. I became a non-player character for 7 days, but if it meant freeing Xiao Yu from the plot, it was worth it. It was also then that the label Vicious began following me. When Xiao Yu returned, Shen Qingxue got back on her feet too. She returned to the company and went back to work, not for any other reason, but because Xiao Yu was the largest shareholder. Their connection had never been severed over the past few years. On the day Xiao Yu returned, Xiao Fuqiang and the others all returned to the villa. Naturally, I went back to. Compared with when she had just turned 18, Xiao Yu was now taller and slimmer and more mature, but her tongue was still sharp. You got darker and fatter. That was the first thing she said when she saw me. There was no sentimentality, no joy at seeing each other again, only open hostility. I replied without changing expression. I have put on quite a bit of weight lately, but it is not even noticeable, okay? I will definitely lose weight when I get back. Huai held Xiao Yu's hand and complained tearfully. Little Yu, you finally came back. We missed you terribly. Every day, we worried you were going hungry and cold overseas. Do not blame Jingchen for being harsh. He did it for your own good. Xiao Yu's expression darkened. She glared at me resentfully. I helplessly spread my hands. Kids are so hot-tempered. Seeing this, Huai became even more enthusiastic. Once he started talking, he would not stop, until Xiao Yu finally shouted impatiently, "Shut up." Only then did the living room fall silent. Xiao Fuqiang was displeased by her words. Xiao Yu, he is your eldest brother. Watch your mouth. Huai was the son of Xiao Fuqiang and Liu Xian. I used to think he simply disliked children. Later, I realized he only disliked the children my mother had given birth to. Xiao Yu was just as hot-tempered as ever. You shut up too. My mind is still perfectly clear. I know how many older brothers my mother gave me. She glared at me as she spoke. Xiao Fuqiang dared to yell at me, but he did not dare offend Xiao Yu. Xiao Yu once sent him to the hospital for half a month with a single brick. Xiao Yu did not care who you were. If someone annoyed her, she really would hit them. She had no idea how to go easy on women. Liu Xian knew that better than anyone. Soon after she entered the family, Xiao Yu had tormented her into nervous exhaustion. After that, no one dared cross Xiao Yu. And yet, someone like her, if the plot continued as written, was destined for a tragic end. Huai and the others thought Xiao Yu and I would fight to the death. Then they could profit while we destroyed each other. After all, Everyone had witnessed how terrible our relationship had been. However, what they got instead was Xiao and I staging a good cop, bad cop act while we purged the company's informants. Among them were people working for Shen Qingxue and Huai, as well as people working for Xiao Fuqiang and Siyan. When I first heard the news, I was only half convinced myself. How interesting. Two married couples suspicious of each other, each coveting what belonged to someone else. On the day the system left, I messaged Xiao and told her she could come home. We had argued because she did not want to leave me alone in China. We disagreed about it. I had forcibly sent her away, which conveniently made them believe our relationship had fallen apart. The aloof Xiao in outsider's eyes was now throwing a childish tantrum at me. I will not leave again. You are awful. I chuckled and ruffled her hair. I will not. Not ever again. The system will never return. 2.5 weeks later, Huai was trending again. After everything he had done to get here, he had offended even more people than I had. I was merely vicious. I had never threatened anyone else's interests, but he was a wolf in sheep's clothing. Without the system, the truth would come out sooner or later. Looking back, the system's final words sounded more like a warning. Only Huai was foolish enough to think they were a blessing. After all, the system could not control anything beyond the planned ending. When Huai stormed into my home, I was eating breakfast. Jingchen, you again. Take down all that dirt about me online. Did you hear me? Believe me, I will sue you for defamation. At that moment, the male lead was no longer a gentle heartthrob. He was just a raving lunatic who had completely lost it. I picked up a napkin and wiped my mouth. I did not do it. How could I take it down? If I had done it, do you think I would have stopped at something this small? If not you, then who else? You are the one who hates me most. I went inside, brought out a stack of documents, and handed them to Huai. Isn't it only natural that I hate you? Since you are convinced I did it, I happen to have something interesting to share with you. The man himself is right here. He can tell us whether it is true. Huai took the documents. At first, he flipped through them carelessly. Then, he began turning the pages faster and faster. Finally, he threw the entire stack onto the floor. Where did you get these? How do you have this stuff? Didn't I have the system destroy it? Why do you still have it? I ignored his breakdown. I picked up the documents and began reading them aloud. Every so often, I asked him whether the details were true. How could the nation's heartthrob do something like this? Was this moral depravity or a distortion of human nature? You even slept with 3 people at once. I never imagined you were this kind of person. Huai, you certainly have impressive stamina. Does Shen Qingxue know? Huai snatched the documents from my hands like a madman. Shut up. They are all fake. I said indifferently. Go ahead and tear them up. I have plenty more. When force failed, Huai dropped to his knees. Jingchen, I am begging you. Please do not release them. They will ruin me. I was wrong. Please let me go. I will not fight you for anything anymore. I will die. Those things could get people killed. I leaned down and looked at him kneeling on the floor. I told you before, what is mine will always be mine. You will never be able to take it from me. As for forgiving you, that is even more impossible. Do you remember how my mother begged you back then? And what did you do? You drove her to her death. Do you need me to list everything you did to me over the past 10 years? My dear brother, speaking of which, you really did fool the entire internet. You got addicted to putting on that perfect mother and son act with your own mother, didn't you? Did you forget that you are the son of a mistress? Huai, you are a fool. Without the system, you would never have made it this far. Huai wiped away his tears. He glared at me with bitter hatred. It is not over yet. We will see who has the last laugh. I pointed at my phone. But, Huai, I am live streaming. The revelation hit Huai like a sledgehammer. He stared at my phone in disbelief. His final scream died away in the living room. This time, Huai's entire world truly came crashing down. The national idol image he had painstakingly built collapsed overnight. The perfect mother and son image he had created with Siyan had once been wildly popular. Now, they were being condemned just as viciously. Because of this, Fuqiang's image as a good man vanished too. All the attention he had gained by attacking my mother came crashing back at him. Xiao Corporation's stock kept plunging. The company's official website was flooded with abuse. Back then, Fuqiang had presented himself as the victim, and his supposed refusal to retaliate against his wife made him seem virtuous. Financial magazines still featured his photograph on their covers. But once all the lies were exposed, the backlash was 1,000 times harsher. In the end, everyone reaps what they sow. When Fuqiang sold off his shares, we bought them at a bargain. We would not let even the smallest asset fall into an outsider's hands. Xiao asked what I planned to do next. I handed the company straight to her. There was one thing they had gotten right. I really was not suited for working. I was only suited to lying around and counting money. From now on, I wanted to live for myself. No one knows. I have always been secretly in love with someone. I kept them buried deep in my heart, untouchable. That person was the one I truly wanted. I just lost them. I do not know if I can still find them again. Worst case, I will chase them relentlessly.